Hello everyone, my name is Omar, and I'm reviewing The Big Red One. So there were five main actors in this movie, and the first one was Lee Marvin, who played Sergeant Possum, then Robert Carradine, who played Private Zab, and next was Kelly Ward, who played Private Johnson, and Bobby DeKichi, who played Private Vinci. And lastly was Mark Hamill, who played Private Griff. So the movie follows those five characters around the world and starts off in North Africa in French occupied Algeria. French soldiers who don't really want to fight them, and a Vichy general who tries to ruin everything by starting a battle between them, which actually kind of works out for him, except he gets killed right at the very beginning. And that starts a huge battle between them until the French surrender and decide to join the Big Red One in their campaign in World War II. At a later date and time, the perspective goes to the German side, in particular the villain named Schroeder, who kills his subordinate for disrespecting Hitler, as shown in the clip. Afterwards, it's shown that Sergeant Possum was captured and sent to a German hospital in Tunisia, but he's freed when the U.S. Army takes over and sends all them away. Later, they head out to Sicily, where they face rough opposition trying to get on shore, but they still win because they're the main characters, and they kind of have to. It's the story. After they make it on shore, they try to find an SV gun, which is somehow hidden from airplane view as well, and so they have to find it by land. And so they recruit the help from a little boy, the boy you just saw, and he helps them find it as long as they help him carry his mother around. And so once they find it, they shoot the Italians maneuvering it. After they leave Italy, they go up to Britain, and from Britain they go to Omaha Beach for D-Day and have to blow up a large barbed wire fence for tanks to pass through. And so they send up lots of recruits, and every single one of them dies until they send up Private Johnson, who's able to push through the Bangalore torpedo through the fence. And that's pretty much just a huge pole with 85 pounds of TNT in it. So when he's able to push that through, it definitely puts a hole in the barbed wire fence. While that was happening, Schroeder was planning an ambush against anyone who passed by that line of defense. And so he disguised his men as soldiers who already died in battle so as not to arouse suspicion. Except our main characters figured it out and eventually won the battle against them by gaining access to the tank. After finally traveling through France, there was a minor part in Belgium where they found a monastery where many German soldiers were hiding, and so they went inside and got a woman to help them kill everyone. And so after that, they traveled through Germany, and it was fairly uneventful. I don't know why, because Germany should have been the most dangerous, but it didn't have too many incidents, so I didn't think it was important enough to include. But afterwards, they traveled to a Czechoslovakian concentration camp where they discovered the gas houses that killed massive amounts of Jewish people. That was the last important point, so it might seem like an abrupt ending, but that's not where it actually ended. That's just the end of the plot. There wasn't too much new info that I learned from this, but I gained a new insight into the lives of the veteran soldiers. I didn't realize just how many people died, and that it would take a toll on the veterans, their emotions. So to avoid that, they would just not get to know the new recruits. This movie's writer and director, Samuel Fuller, was actually a World War II vet, and so this movie is actually surprisingly accurate. He even got tiny details, like how the soldiers who stormed beaches had to put condoms on their guns first so that they wouldn't get clogged up with seawater. The main plot was also extremely accurate because the 1st Infantry Division actually followed that path and fought those exact battles as well. The only parts of the movie that weren't accurate were the most ridiculous parts. Like anyone watching would be able to point them out very easily. Like they're probably just for comic effect. I usually don't like war movies, but I thought this one was pretty good. Like, it had good character development, and they all eventually got together and were really compatible. This movie was actually fairly funny and even had some pretty good comedy scenes. It had a lot of good life lessons and even had a really good ending. Like, it really moved me. I'm just gonna say that so that I don't ruin anything. And I think this movie deserved a 4 out of 5. I'm gonna end this review with them yelling "Pussy" at a pregnant woman.
Don't stop, baby, come on! Don't stop now! Don't stop! Keep it up! You're doing great!